Hello, machine pitch. I'm going to send this out to parents as well as coaches, because we all know that our parents will also probably be helping out, whether it's running the machine or setting up the machine for practice. I've got about 4 of these, so if for some reason it's not being accurate, let me know. I can switch it out, but this will be tied to the pole next to the garbage cans. Make sure each day after you're finished that you tie that thing back up there, because they are a couple $100 to replace. I have these set up right now. It's 40 feet from home plate, from the back of home plate, and it's set up at, it's throwing about 32 miles per hour pretty consistently over the strike zone. All right, first thing I'm going to show you is how to make. First thing you got to do is you're going to pull back this arm, like you see right here, and then there's a lever that goes down underneath this little black knob. So right now it's just sitting just like that. Okay, the ball is going to sit right here, and we're now ready. Again, we don't want anybody standing right in front of it. Now, to be able to pitch this thing, the first thing that you've got to do is put your foot on this lever. Okay, so that's going to hold it there in place. Then when you are ready to pitch, you're going to pull back the little trigger here, and it will go right over home plate. Okay, release, and it's back. When it's time to do the next pitch, pull back, put this underneath the little notch there. It's set up. We're going to go ahead and put a ball here. Okay, again, put the foot pedal down. You want to do that first, because here's the deal. If you just pull on the trigger, on the arm, we get nothing. So again, it's set up here. We're going to do the foot first. Then you're going to pull back on the arm, and hopefully it's going to go across home plate. And it did. Now, if for some reason you notice, it gets bumped, the ground's kind of soft, if you notice that it's pitching off to one side or the other, you can move the back leg left or right, and that will make it go, the ball go left or right. Okay, if for some reason it's way off, there are some other adjustments. So the bottom down here adjusts the speed. Okay, I would not touch that. Over here you can see it says raise pitch, lower pitch. You can use that. This arm over here, same thing on the back side. It says raise pitch, lower pitch. That would work as well. Really though, if you're set up at 40 feet, it should give you the right arc and be throwing strikes. And if you adjust left and right, you should be able to get it there. If it's short of the plate, you can always move the machine a little bit forward. If it's too high, you can always move the machine back a little bit. That's my preference, is that we don't adjust the settings if at all possible. Just adjust where the machine is at. The more we adjust the settings, the harder it's going to be for the next person to be able to get this in. And if it's not throwing strikes consistently, it could be that these coils are getting loose and we either need to tighten them, or like I said, I've got probably 2 or 3 more at home that I can replace this with. When you get to the field, coaches have the combos for the locks. We have 2 boxes. So one is for the first base side, the one that's closest to first base, and we got one here for the third base side. Obviously, if there's one team practicing, that's really easy. Pick a side dugout to go to, and you're going to use that box. You may need to open both boxes though, because we have the bases are in one of the boxes. We have a hitting sock that you saw us using at tryouts that can be assembled. Just make sure we disassemble and put back in the bag after practice. Over on the other side here, there's a L screen to protect the coach or the pitcher from getting hit. So again, that's something that you could use. Not as big a deal with the machine pitch. We use those more with the older kids. Again, just make sure if you guys use it that you disassemble it and put it back in the bags at the end of practice. There is a equipment bag in each of these lock boxes, and it'll say, like if we get here on the third base side, machine third base, and all the equipment, the helmets, the bats that are in there, all have the tag third base. So we want to make sure it gets back into that bag and into the right box. Okay, same thing here on the first base side. All right, if you decide you're the only team practicing, and you want to use both sets of baseballs, we're okay with that. Just make sure we even them out at the end and put them in the proper box when we are finished. We do have rakes. Please try to get a little bit of raking in, at least around the bases and maybe where the pitching machine was when you're finished. They are going to be stored inside right here in between with the locks. And so again, Coach has a combo. We'll be able to unlock that, but please make sure we lock them back up. I think we've already lost one at Osprey Park, and we haven't even been practicing a week. So there is a spot there that you can put them in between these little crossbars. If you are the only team practicing that day, we do not need to disinfect everything because we have a 24-hour little quarantine window before they get used again. But if it's on a Saturday and somebody's coming after you, we need to make sure that we are using the spray that we have. We have spray bottles in there. I believe there's 2 in each one. There's also some blue paper towels that you can use. And so any catcher's gear, bats, helmets that were used by the team, we need to make sure we clean off at the end of practice. If you are the only team practicing that day, we have little orange pegs that go inside the little base anchors. So you can put the bases in, just kind of keep those orange pegs maybe off to the side. Make sure at the end of your practice, if you're the last one using the field that day, that you put those pegs back in and the bases back up so we don't get those stolen.